Welcome to Alice Just Alice 55. You're listening to an AI-narrated audiobook version of my original story, The Unclaimed Werewolf, an Unbound Wolves novel, written by Alice N. Smith. Chapter 14, Where Lines Are Drawn Closer. The first one crossed the line at dawn. Nora was already awake, already watching the mist thin between the trees. She remained in human form, bare feet planted in damp earth, skin chilled but steady. Clothing had never mattered here. The forest knew her either way. She smelled him before she saw him, confident, careless, carrying the assumption that distance softened rules. He came in human form, boots snapping twigs that had no reason to break. His scent bleeding freely across the undergrowth as if he expected it to be tolerated. She stepped out of the trees and let him see her. He stopped short. His eyes flicked over her before he corrected himself. Too late to hide the appraisal, too quick to pretend it hadn't happened. She didn't move to cover herself. She never did. "I was told you might be here," he said, gaze climbing deliberately back to her face. "Alone." She didn't answer. He cleared his throat. "You could, at least." "No," she said. The word landed flat and final. He shifted his weight, clearly uncomfortable now. "I came in peace." "You came without permission," she replied, "and you crossed the border." He took another step despite himself. "That's customary for..." She shifted, not fully, just enough that the air tightened, that the promise of teeth settled between them. "Leave," she said. His gaze dipped again, irritation flashing. "You don't have to stand there like that." "I do," she said. "You don't have to be here." He hesitated, then backed away, hands lifting. "Another time, then." "There won't be one." She watched until his scent broke clean at the border. Morcel trotted out from behind her leg, ears alert. "Good," she told him. "You stayed put." His tail thumped once. The second arrived near midday. This one stopped at the border. Points for that. Nora remained in human form, seated on a fallen log with the sun warming her shoulders. She didn't bother to rise when he called out. "That's better," she said before he could speak. He smiled, sharp and self-satisfied. His eyes slid to her, lingered, then lifted with practiced ease. "I respect boundaries," he said. "You respect rules," she corrected. "Different thing," he chuckled. "Most would at least..." She tilted her head. "Finish that sentence carefully." He paused, recalibrating. "Most would dress before receiving a visitor." "I didn't receive you." His smile tightened. "I'm offering you an option," he said. "Protection, standing, a pack that knows how to manage its resources." "I don't need protection." "Everyone does," he replied lightly, "even those who pretend otherwise." Morcel moved at her side, hackles lifting. The male's gaze dropped. His expression shifted, not fear, disgust. "You keep that?" he asked. "Here?" Her voice went cold. "Say that again." He waved a dismissive hand. "A mutt. And you let him sit between you and..." She stood. "Leave," she said. He stiffened. "I haven't insulted you. You insulted what I chose." She stepped closer to the border. He stepped back. "Good. Take your offers and your opinions with you," she said. "If I sent you here again, I won't bother speaking first." He left quickly, dignity shedding with every step. Morsel pressed against her leg. She rested a hand briefly on his head. "You're fine," she murmured. "They're not." The third didn't announce himself. He crossed the line at dusk, scent heavy with authority and entitlement, layered to intimidate rather than invite. Nora didn't wait. The shift tore through her mid-stride, bone and muscle realigning as she surged forward on 4 paws. Brush flattened beneath her weight as she cut the distance in seconds. He barely had time to turn. Her snarl split the quiet, deep, and unmistakable. She hit him hard enough to knock the breath from his lungs, jaws snapping inches from his throat as she drove him backward, step by brutal step, until his heels struck the border and slipped. She didn't cross it. She didn't need to. Her teeth hovered there, promise and warning both. When she finally backed away, she did it slowly, eyes never leaving his. He scrambled to his feet and ran. She watched until his scent broke and scattered beyond the line. Only then did she turn back into the trees. Night had settled fully by the time she reached the creek. The water was black and cold, moonlight breaking across it in thin, uneven bands. She crouched at the edge and plunged her hands in, scrubbing until the blood thinned and vanished downstream. The ache in her knuckles lingered. So did the anger. She breathed out through her nose, slow and controlled. Once was chance. Twice was nuisance. 3 times was intent. She straightened and listened to the forest, not for danger, but for intrusion, for the next mistake already on its way. So, she muttered, that's how they're going to do this. Morcel huffed softly beside her. She glanced toward the eastern rise, irritation tightening her jaw. Not fear, not anticipation, just the weary certainty that someone else would decide they knew better than she did. Trespasser or suitor, brute or fool. She didn't care which came next. She only cared that they seemed determined to keep trying. Nora flexed her fingers, letting the cold bite once more before pulling her hands from the stream. Let them hurry, she said quietly. The night did not answer, but it listened.